Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your reading for the weeks covering, or at least the time period covering, May 21st through June 3rd, 2024. I do these on 2-week things, so the time frame is a little odd, but people who watch this channel regularly know that I would do 6 signs per week. So this is the week for Aries through Virgo, and so welcome if you are new to this channel. It's good to have you here, and if you're returning, welcome back. This is a reading for Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising, or some other significant Taurus placement in your chart. If you know that you have one, this reading could apply to you potentially as well. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, or leave me a comment and/or whatever you would like to do. But if you want to be notified about these videos, definitely subscribe. Every interaction definitely helps the channel to grow. This is a reading that's going to be done according to the 12 houses of astrology. So this is a horoscope spread, and I will explain what each house position is, and I will explain what the cards mean in that position. If a story presents itself, I will give it, but I try to keep things as general as possible because I feel that a wide variety of people look at these readings. It's not necessarily just people looking for love or just people looking at their career. So I try to, if those things are highlighted, I will bring them up. But otherwise, I will try to keep this more broadly focused for people who have, maybe don't fall into some of those categories, or don't have those the kinds of relationships that are implied here. So so basically, take what resonates and leave the rest. This is a general reading. Let's see if you want to check out my website, the other offerings that I have, and also my social media. If you check the description box below, I have links to all of my stuff. I am doing now a new series called Morning Coffee with Breege, because that is my name, Breege, and I do it every morning, and you will see those posted here as well if you subscribe to the channel. I do a little bit having to do with coaching and with dealing with transitions and so forth, which is the type of spiritual coaching that I do. So you will notice those. That's something I started at the beginning of May. So so anyway, let me move on to the reading itself. The first house that we have here for you is Aries energy. So this is your personality, how you present yourself to the world, how other people see you. And the cards we have here are Sphinx with Page of Pentacles. Okay, so Page of Pentacles has a strong student vibe to it, okay? There's definitely this vibe of beginning something new, preparing things, laying the groundwork for something. Pentacles, of course, are more earth-oriented, so perhaps you are planning some kind of new financial venture. It could be a new business, could just be having a new plan for your own personal finances or for your own personal security, too, when Page of Pentacles comes up. But there's definitely a newness here. There's definitely an enthusiasm. And I do feel like pages are about learning and about gaining information. So I feel like maybe you've been going through a period of learning right now. Like maybe you have been in student mode. Maybe you've been learning a lot of things. And with Sphinx here, there's a sense that you maybe are not showing all aspects of yourself to people. Sphinx comes up when there is something secret or hidden. So this could literally be that what we're learning is we're uncovering hidden stuff about ourselves. That's entirely possible here. But this could also just be that maybe this is a process that right now you're just kind of waiting and seeing. You're not necessarily putting it out there, or you're not necessarily sharing it with people right now, because I think maybe you feel like you're in a state of learning right now. So interesting start here to the reading. The second house is your own house, Taurus energy. This is mainly about finances. We have the Lotus with the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so if money has been a worry for you, Taurus, this is saying don't worry, there's plenty of money coming in. Now, 10 of Pentacles definitely is this idea of, there's definitely a sense of being flush with cash. I mean, it's the culmination of the Pentacles suit. But there's also something about community-oriented about it, or family-oriented about it. Sometimes this comes up when we're getting monies from a legacy. It could be when we get money, some other kind of money from family, or it's something connected to family. This is not money necessarily that we make by ourselves. I mean, it could be, but a lot of times there's a sense of community support here, or something coming from either something from the family or from the community here, rather than something that you've just earned entirely by dint of your own efforts. In any case, if money has been a worry, there definitely seems to be strong financial support that is coming in. So it's saying not to worry about it. There's going to be peaceful continuity. There's not going to be any negative surprises concerning money for you in this time period. In fact, you may find yourself flush with cash, which is an awesome thing. Okay. Third house, this is Gemini energy. Gemini has to do with messages. It has to do with communications, self-employment. So this is the house of self-effort. So if you are in your own business, that would apply to this house. Can have to do with brother-sister relationships. Again, that may or may not apply here for you, but that is an aspect of the house. And also has to do with travel, but short distance travel, not long trips. So, okay, we have Earth with the Five of Pentacles. So this is interesting because we have the card of money with the card representing a lack of money. So I don't know. I feel like if I look at what's going on over here in the second house, I feel like money has been a concern. Maybe you've been worried about money or about money not coming in or feeling like you have a lack of it. Maybe if you're in business, maybe you feel like the business is not really lucrative right now, like you're not making the money. But with the Earth card, the sense here is that you're going to be making the money. Money's coming from somewhere. And again, with this Ten of Pentacles right next to this, I feel like this is more of a mindset to be released. Now, if we're talking about communications with people, Five of Pentacles can also come up when we feel ghosted by someone or like somebody is not communicating with us. Maybe something is taking too long, taking its time. Earth indicates something that has to be built up slowly and maybe is more mundane and maybe not quite so exciting. But I definitely feel like there's a grounding here. There's been a focus on security here, and there's been a focus on wanting to connect with people. And maybe there's been the fact that this is showing up in the communication house. Maybe you feel like maybe you're not receiving certain communications or not receiving certain kinds of support. But I feel like this is the fact that I have all of this, the Ten of Pentacles, and the fact that I have the Earth card around this suggests to me that I don't see this as bad news about money. I see this as an attitude about money that's going to be proven like, when the Five of Pentacles come up, I don't feel like this means there's going to be poverty. I feel like this means that you are, there's a situation where maybe you feel like you lack abundance, but all around this, you've got pentacles. You've got all this abundance that's all around it. So I think it's saying, you're worried about this, but you're going to have plenty of money coming in. So if that's the way you're feeling right now, if you're feeling nervous, if you're feeling like there's a lack of abundance or a lack of connection with people about something, or a lack of maybe connection with people in your business or something like that, I feel like this is reassuring you that things are going to be fine. Slow and steady is the phrase that comes into my mind. So it may be just a case of, Taurians, and one of the traits of Taurus can be that Taurians can be either on either end of the spectrum, very patient or not very patient at all. And speaking as somebody who is a Taurian, I would say to you, patience is not necessarily one of my virtues. So this could be for somebody that this is the idea that maybe you've been worried about abundance, but this definitely seems to be telling you that things are going to be fine. So, So that's good news if you have been feeling a sense of lack or feeling a sense of being left out in the cold. Okay, fourth house. Okay, wow. This is the house of home, family. Again, this is home in the sense of your physical home, your sense of security, feeling at home. It can also have to do with, like I said, family in terms of your ancestry. It can also have to do with the mother specifically. Now we have Scarab with death. Okay, what's interesting is that this is Cartouche's death card, and you've got double death here. So what does that mean? The possibility here is, it's possible that this could indicate a death in the family. Maybe there has been one recently. And I know a lot of people say, no, death card doesn't mean death. Well, I'm just saying it's not impossible. This could be something that you have experienced recently. It's not a prediction of death. If you've had a recent death in the family, then that would apply to you. If not, then don't worry about death. I feel more like this is about a change, though. Some of you, this could mean that you are going to, up and move. If you're renting, you may end your lease and go somewhere else. If you own your home, you may sell it and move. There's definitely a sense of change. This can also be a change to your fundamental sense of security. Maybe maybe some of these new things that you're learning recently, or maybe even things you've learned about family have precipitated a change, maybe a change in a family situation. Maybe that's why we have the Five of Pentacles here. I mean, if this has to do with a family relationship, because remember that the third house has to do with siblings. If you have brothers and sisters, this could be a situation where there is a sibling. I don't know. This could be the end of a quarrel or a situation. There could be something that comes to a head and that comes to an end. Death does not always have to mean a separation, but it could be. In any case, there's some aspect of your home or family life that is coming to an end. So take that as it resonates here. But yeah, I feel like there may be, remember I did say legacy over here. So I think, and again, this is not a general prediction. There could be somebody here who recently has received a family legacy of some kind. And maybe that's why this is coming up. And I normally wouldn't interpret it in that way, except that it seems there's an aspect of it that's showing up in other parts of this reading. So, but again, I feel like that's a very specific message, maybe for one person who's watching. I don't feel generally that that's what it means. I feel like there's just something about your home or family situation, something, and I feel like when these comes up, it's not only an ending, but it's a new beginning as well. Scarab represents new beginnings. That's why I'm saying, like, okay, yeah, this could be you moving out of your house or changing things, or I don't know. This could also even be something as simple as, you know, we're renovating, or we're getting all new furniture, or we're, you know, it can be something as simple as that as well. So again, take it as it resonates. It's going to be different for everybody. But the fact that came up that way with some of these other cards, I feel like somebody here may have recently experienced some kind of a loss. And I don't know, maybe there's something about, if there is, okay, if somebody is dealing with inheritance here, this could be worries that a sibling maybe is going to get all of the money in a particular situation, or I don't know, that's a possibility there. Yeah, anyway, take it as it resonates. That popped into my head as a possibility, but I think it's a very specific possibility, not a general one. Okay, fifth house. This is Leo energy, creativity, children, love affairs. Can also have to do with recreation, can also have to do with their sense of recognition. Leo is, of course, a sign that is usually, it's associated with the sun, so it's very, recognized and seen in the spotlight. Okay, we have Bast with the Two of Swords. So Bast is a very creative card, okay? This sometimes comes up when we're talking about music, dancing, the creative arts, so maybe some of you engage in those, or being this is the house of love affairs, it's entirely possible, or maybe you have a child. There's somebody here who's very, very creative. It's either maybe there's somebody who you're in love with who's very creative. It could be a child who's very creative. And this could be you. You could be embarking on some kind of a creative project. So take that as it resonates. But we have it with the Two of Swords. So I feel like there's a stalemate here with something. Maybe if there is a love relationship or there's love between people, there's a decision that has to be made. Stalemate here just kind of indicates that they're kind of at a peaceful, almost like a truce. Like they're not in a bad place, but they're also not moving forward. So I think for some of you with love, maybe this is a situation with somebody and it's just not moving forward. Astrologically, sometimes this is another, there's a couple of different Aquarius cards in Cartouche, this is one of them, but it does not have to be somebody who's an Aquarius. It just seems to be, I don't know, there's a strong creative energy with this, but if you are working on a project, then it may indicate that maybe you're at a stalemate or a stopping point with something, and there's going to be some decisions that need to be made to move forward. If this has to do with a love affair or something with a child, again, there seems to be some creative element here that's being blocked in some way. Either somebody is closing their heart off, or somebody is just, I don't know, there's some fear of moving forward. But somebody has to make a decision to move forward sometime soon, whether it's you or this other person. If it is a love affair, that remains to be seen. I mean, we'll see what transpires in the other houses. But for right now, I do feel like there's a situation that is, while it's not in a bad place, it's also not moving forward. Okay, sixth house, Virgo. Virgo energy is about health, healing. It can be about worry and anxiety. If you're employed, you have a job where somebody else pays you rather than you being self-employed, then that would be covered by this house, as well as pets, things having to do with pets and domestic animals. So you can decide whether some of those other aspects apply here. But we have Isis with the Nine of Swords. Okay. This seems to be, okay, I feel like this is health worries. And again, what literally is jumping into my head here is health worries about somebody's mother. I don't know. Maybe there's a worry about, a concern about somebody. If somebody's mother's old, maybe you're concerned that something's going to happen. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying this is a prediction that anything's going to happen. But there does seem to be a concern about something. If it's not having to do with the mother, then this is definitely a situation. This could be somebody who's a mother-like figure. This could be a situation that requires nurturing and self-care. This could also just be very, very strong mental stress where you need to take a break and take care of yourself. All those things are possible here. And again, because this is also in the 6th house, it is possible that this worry is connected to a job. So again, you take that if it applies. But I definitely feel like there's a need, like there's been an excess of worry here about something. And there may be a need to kind of step back, to be caring. If this does involve somebody else and not you, then maybe it's saying you need to show compassion and nurturing towards that individual, or just need to be patient in a particular situation. I just feel like whatever's going on here, when Isis shows up, I just feel like there's a situation here where compassion is called for, or nurturing is called for, or at the very least, you may be just kind of persevering and moving along with something and you need to be patient. So take that as it resonates there. I will mention that the 9 of Swords often comes up when we are worried about things that, when we may be giving ourselves a lot of mental stress about things that don't usually happen. So just take that as it resonates as well. Okay, 7th house, Libra energy. Libra is about relationships. It can be about, so this is marriages usually, or any kind of legalized partnership. It can be other types of legalized arrangements too, contracts, business relationships, things like that. We have, okay, Temperance, the Knight of Pentacles, and Buckle of Isis. Now again, this is a case where, this happened in the Aries reading too, where 2 cards flipped out for a particular house, and so I just let the 2 cards be rather than trying to decide if they belong to one or the other house. Okay. So Buckle of Isis indicates fidelity, okay, first of all. So if there's been any question about marriage fidelity with somebody, this definitely indicates somebody who is faithful. If somebody is not married and looking for marriage, this could be a case of being faithful to a person, like putting a lot of effort into a relationship. But I also feel like this may be a situation where you're putting a lot of effort in and you're wanting to know whether or not you're going to get anything out of it. Maybe something feels lopsided here, especially since we have this 2 of Swords energy down here. If this is about somebody who you think might be a prospect for a marriage or a long-term relationship, the question may become, yeah, is this gonna, is the efforts that I'm making here, is the, because 4 of Bastet over here, if we are talking about somebody looking for love or looking for marriage, Bast over here suggests to me, that maybe you're looking for attention, you want attention. And I don't mean that in like a narcissistic or, voyeuristic kind of way. I mean, like, it's more like, I'm here, I love you, pay attention to me. Like, that kind of a thing, not in the sense of being, of you just being somebody who is, being, conceited or demanding of attention. Like, it's not that kind of looking for attention. It's, I like you, I want to be liked back. It's like that kind of energy. And I feel like you've got Temperance and the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, I feel like this is somebody, I mean, it could potentially be an earth sign or maybe a fire sign, potentially Sagittarius. I don't know. It doesn't have to be. But there's definitely an energy here of something that is where maybe balance is needed when we have Temperance, maybe, or just a lot of patience once again. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe the worry here is about, being it's between the 2 love things, this could also be that you are worried about whether or not the efforts you're making towards something are actually gonna go anywhere. But Knight of Pentacles indicates slow and steady. Somebody wants to be slow and steady. Whoever, if this is about a love for a particular person, I'm feeling like it's somebody who's not really quite ready to move ahead yet. Now, of course, it's up to you as to whether or not you want to continue putting energy into a situation. But with the Buckle of Isis, there is a suggestion here that your effort will be rewarded at some point. So, yeah, so take it as it resonates. I mean, Temperance and the Knight of Pentacles are not bad cards, but they're not dramatic cards of romance either. They're more about trying to balance things, trying to keep things in balance, being patient, moving slow. I mean, that's more of the vibe of it. So I guess the upshot of that is that this does have to do with a love relationship for you where things feel like they're stuck. this is a situation where you may be building a solid foundation. So that aspect of it is good. Okay. 8th house, Scorpio energy. Scorpio is about transformation. It's about endings and beginnings. It can have to do with joint finances or other people's money. Okay, so we have air with the 7 of Cups. So right now, I feel like, okay, first of all, the air card in either the 8th or the 12th house indicates messages coming from spirit. And the fact that you've got all this work going on in your 1st house here, secrets being revealed, learning things, I feel like you maybe recently have gone through something where you are, maybe you've been getting a lot of messages from spirit or from your inner voice or from however you want to think about that. But there's definitely, this could be coming through dreams. This could be coming through synchronicities. You could just be getting messages, depending on your relationship to spirit guides. You may be getting direct connections from them or direct messages. But we have the 7 of Cups here, so there may be some doubt about whether or not you can believe the messages you're getting. This sometimes comes up when, or we just feel like even with the information we're getting, maybe we're very confused about our options, about what we're supposed to move forward on, about what's the, or it may seem like there's a lot of different options, and which one's the right one may not be clear to us right now. So the 7 of Cups seems to indicate a need to, I don't know, I feel like maybe there's a need to get clear. Like maybe you need to do some meditation, listen to your inner voice, listen to, if you like the term higher self, or if you like, or again, if you are somebody who works with spirit guides or works through prayer, whatever it is you work through, there's messages that seem to want to come through. And I think that you need to pay attention to those messages to kind of get through the haze here that we have with the 7 of Cups. And I think also this is saying that you've got to learn to trust those messages that are coming through. You may be getting those messages and saying, I don't really believe that this is a thing, because you're a staid, practical, down to earth kind of a thing and kind of a sign. And 7 of Cups here would be suggesting that maybe you feel like you're being too pie in the sky, maybe you're being delusional, but I don't feel like you're being delusional here. But I do feel like the path forward may not be clear, and you need to, maybe you even need to detach a little bit from the situation and look at it objectively. I can also tell you, though, that air does indicate communications and also can indicate things moving fast. So I don't know. I feel like there are changes coming up. There is, somebody either from spirit or it may be just you and your own internal voice is trying to let you know about these changes. But you may not be clearly getting the message right now. So, so probably some meditation to tune in would be in order there. Okay, 9th house, Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius is about expansion. It's about higher education, learning, going back to school, or for anything. It can have to do with institutions connected to education, and also religion and spirituality, whatever that is for you. Whether you're belong to some branch of one of the major religions, or whether you are in a Wicca coven, or whatever it is. I mean, whatever your religious belief is, whatever the organizations are, that's also connected to this house. Also, long distance travel, anything that's expanding your horizons. Okay, and we have Horus with the 8 of Pentacles. So Horus is about, has to do with healing. It also has to do with creativity. 8 of Pentacles is definitely a card of work and working hard and putting an effort into something. So again, I saw this kind of student energy here. Maybe some of you are taking classes having to do with healing. That's a possibility here. And maybe classes that are at a distance here too. That's kind of what I'm feeling, like maybe something you're doing online or over Zoom or something like that. You could also be learning something creative. You could be learning a creative skill like painting or writing or something like that. Or there could be something connected to something creative that you're doing that is going to get a broader audience. Maybe it's something you're going to teach, or maybe it's something that is going to be, maybe, I don't know. There's something about what you're doing that you're going to be able to reach a broader audience, or you're going to be able to learn more, or you're going to be able to teach others. It's kind of going to be one thing to the other, but there's definitely work connected with this. So I feel like some of you are either going to be teachers, or maybe spiritual mentors to somebody, because this is definitely you as the master, not somebody else, okay? So I feel like there's work there. Or some of you, maybe you're going to be working in education or something connected to spirituality and healing. So take it as it resonates there, but there's either, there's either a bent towards academia and teaching, or just teaching of some type, or we're seeing a bent potentially towards healing. Either way, though, Horus is a great card to have in that house. This is Leo energy. It's definitely about being recognized, having charisma, being seen. Maybe if some of you are being seen as a teacher or something like that, that's possible as well. But it definitely seems to indicate in areas of work, there definitely seems like this is there. I feel like some of you, there's definitely work in this area. This also could just be work someplace far away. Maybe this is indicating that somebody's going to move and maybe they're going to get a job somewhere far away. So, take it as it resonates. It's going to be different for everybody. 10th house, Capricorn energy. Capricorn is about career, fame, reputation, your legacy, what you want to leave for others, and I don't mean just in terms of money. I mean in terms of just what you're giving back to the world, so to speak. Okay, so we have the Devil with water. So I feel like there's changes coming in your career. Water, again, I remember I said over here that you could be working overseas. I just said overseas, but it could just be someplace far away, someplace over water, right? That's possible here. But I also feel like this is just, there's changes. It could be a new job or a new career, or it could just be that there's going to be movement and change in your existing one. And this, again, when the Devil shows up here, it's saying this is not a time to focus on money. I think I think you're held back a lot by focusing too much on how much you're earning and not on the work itself, which again, very typical of Taurus, because as Taurians, Taurus is definitely a sign that is connected to stability, finance, money driven. I mean, second house, right? It's basically saying your money's going to be fine. Like, don't spend your time worrying about money. There's definitely movement and change coming, and again, possible travel connected with it as well. For some of you, this could be a different career or some kind of a change. But I think for a lot of you, this could just be movement and change within what you're already doing, which is great news, actually, if things have felt like they're stagnant or stuck. Okay, so let's look at the 11th house, Aquarius energy, friendships, social networks, business networks. The friends and acquaintances you have to do with your hopes and wishes, and also with your goals, your destiny. And wow, okay, we have Nephthys with the 10 of Cups. So again, 10 of Cups is that strong community energy. 11th house, as I said, is considered the house of wishes. 10 of Cups is one of the wish cards. The 10 of Cups, the 9 of Cups, and the Star are often considered to be wish cards. And they have different inflections. This one has to do with gaining your wish, but this is more of a community sense rather than the 9 of Cups, which is more about your own satisfaction and what you get for yourself. This has a strong community vibe to it. But with Nephthys, again, there's this sense of, it's like the 7 of Cups over here. Like, I'm not clear. I'm not seeing this. Is this really going to happen? And I think the message here is you're unsure about whether or not you're going to get your hopes or wishes, or how your hopes or wishes are going to manifest. Like, you may be very, very unclear. Like, maybe you have a wish and maybe you've been told, like, yes, you're going to get your wish, but at the moment, the path forward is not obvious to you. You may be like, oh, great, I'm going to get that. So how? And, that may not be answered at this point. But this does seem to indicate unexpected changes. Oftentimes, a lot of getting what we want in life can be about being in the right place at the right time. So Nephthys would be saying at the moment, or up to now, it hasn't been the right time, but something is just around the corner here, and it is going to be something that is fulfilling to you. This is going to be the granting of some kind of a wish and the completion of something in a very, very happy fashion. So that's excellent news. So if there's something there's a lot of things, it seems like, whether it has to do with relationship, whether it has to do with money or your career, whatever it is you've been working towards, something is changing here. You're making some kind of change in terms of your home environment. This could even be a change with your family situation too. I mean, for some of you, this could be maybe there's some kind of long-standing family crisis that is solved or something like that. It could be something like that. And I feel like whatever's going on with the family, once that's solved, I feel like everything else is just suddenly going to start to move. And you don't need to focus on, I feel like you've been very, very insecure, and you're going to not need to be insecure. Everything's going to be great. But there's just a lot here. You've been in doubt about it because, you're Taurus. I've always said as Taurus, the catchphrase of Taurus is show me the money, show me, I want to see evidence of what's going on here. And you're going to get it. It's just that don't worry that you're doing it wrong. I mean, it's something that's coming up soon. Okay, so now let's look at the 12th house. This is about usually what's hidden, what we might be in doubt about. It can have to do with, it basically has to do with the things that we don't show to others. If the first house is what we show, this is what we don't show. This could be our fears and doubts. It can also have to do with things that are in our imagination, things that are in the subconscious that maybe are trying to present themselves but aren't, you aren't really seeing. Okay, Anubis with the Four of Wands. Okay, very clear message here. Now, this tends to be a card of marriage and stability and things like that. You got the two magpies on here, but you notice you've got the two, they always call this the 11-11 card. You've got the four wands, but they're kind of standing in this kind of pattern, and this creates kind of a pathway, okay? So this is a gateway to something new, and Anubis is the guide through the gate, okay? So you are being guided to a new life, to a new situation. And Anubis in the 12th house, okay, it's interesting because if you think you're being deceived over here or maybe delusional, Anubis unequivocally says, no, you're not. Whatever's going on is really going on. Anubis is in the 12th house means no delusion. You are being properly guided to the right place. Your stability, you've accomplished something, and now you're ready to move on to the next stage. And so, so now you are moving forward. Anubis also brings protection. So I think if you're in a situation where you feel vulnerable in some way, or maybe feel like either you're not clear, maybe you're worried that you got it right, whatever, you're being guided. So that's the really excellent news of the 12th house there. Overall, wow, yeah, you got the winged disc. You didn't have Seth here. Seth is usually the card that shows up that has to do with obstacles or crisis, and you didn't get any other real, I wouldn't call them any serious crisis cards here. I see cards of change, maybe some places where a few things have been stuck, or maybe you've been kind of stuck mentally on worrying about material things, but this is all going to be overcome. Winged disc is everything's, this is definitely overcoming obstacles, seeing things clearly, being able to kind of fly above and see the big picture. And with justice, this is the coming of truth and also of keeping things in balance. So, so I feel like if you feel like maybe there hasn't been justice for you recently or fairness, it is most definitely coming in. So this is an excellent reading. I think it's going to be whatever has been blocking you, whatever your worries have been, whatever right now may still seem like it's not clear, and maybe you're not sure you believe, because again, you're as a Taurus, Uranus has been in Taurus for a long time. So where Uranus appears, it messes everything up. It turns it upside down. It creates unexpected stuff. It's like the Tower card. It comes in and it kind of goes, it like drops a bomb on everything. And depending on where you are birthday-wise in terms of Taurus, by people who are sort of the beginning of Taurus, it was more like around 2018, 2019, got hit with the Uranus in Taurus. And, if you keep going through the birthdays, Uranus is still in Taurus. So those of you who are maybe later in May, like maybe around now, if like your birthday has been, more late May, just before Gemini, it may be starting to hit you now. And the thing is, though, it's turning everything upside down to bring you to a more authentic place. It's not doing it just to mess you up. But Taurians like to be planned. They like to have the 6-month plan, 1-year plan, 5-year plan. They like to know where everything is. They like to have everything nice and settled and building and stable. And right now, this is not what's happening for a lot of Taurians. But this is still saying, like, don't worry about it. Everything is going to be great. So this is great news for you, Taurus. Let's see, let's pull a essential oil oracle card for you. And okay, our card that just flipped out is turmeric. Okay. And let's just see what this says. The keyword is belief. And the trigger statement is it's too late. The true statement is I am free to believe. You are clearing away beliefs, energy, and memories that no longer serve you, so the necessary decisions will be made. Okay, yeah, you're learning new things, right? There's definitely the sense of clearing out the old. Maybe that's why we're seeing this down here too. Maybe you've got the death elements here and new beginnings in the home, because maybe you're clearing out ancestral stuff, New beginnings, starting over again. I feel like that's the track that you're on here, Taurus. You're definitely on the track to finally get what's yours, what's fair. You're moving towards balance, towards truth, towards seeing the truth of a situation, towards seeing everything clearly for what it is, and for getting what your fair share is of whatever it is in life that you are actually entitled to. There's no need to doubt that. You are definitely moving in the right direction. I hope this reading was helpful, Taurus. If you did like this reading, do hit the thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified about these videos. Leave me a comment if you choose. And I hope you have a great rest of your May, and we'll see you again in June.